Did you know you could be doing everything right in your fat loss plan, but if your sleep is off, your scale will stall or worse, start creeping back up? I learned that the hard way. Even though I was in a calorie deficit, crushing my workouts, and hitting my protein, my scale still shot up. And here's the really messed up part. Most women have no idea this crucial habit is also holding them back. After losing 100 pounds and then regaining 50, it wasn't until I fixed this one habit that I finally lost the weight and actually kept it off. But if you're waking up groggy, dragging through workouts, or living off caffeine, those are all signs your fat loss plan is set up to fail. Because the truth is, it's not just your workouts or your diet that matter, especially since sleep is the deciding factor in whether or not your body will actually let go of the weight. But also, just getting more sleep won't do a thing for you if your sleep quality is bad. Which is why I had to rethink everything from what I eat before bed to my nighttime habits to even the sheets I sleep on. That's when I discovered grounding therapy, a method that helps improve sleep by reconnecting your body to the Earth's natural energy. And if you've never heard of it, research shows grounding can actually lower stress and improve sleep quality, especially when it's built into something as simple as your bedding. And yes, swapping out my basic sheets for the ones I use now made a massive difference. But we'll get back to that in a minute. So in this video, I'll show you how improving my sleep gave me the energy and willpower I needed to lose 50 pounds, plus the exact steps I had to take to improve my sleep quality. Because when my scale stopped cooperating, I didn't need another diet. I just needed better sleep. But isn't sleep just sleep? Like you lay your head on the pillow and hope for the best, just like you've been doing for the past 40 years, right? Well, not quite. Because those 8 hours when your head hits the pillow, that's when your body is supposed to rest and recovery from everything that the day threw at you. But recovery at 40 plus looks nothing like it did in your 20s or 30s. To explain this, let's think of recovery like a glass of water. When you were a kid, you had playtime and bedtime, which made the glass easy to refill. Even in your 20s, sure, there was work stress and maybe a car payment, but nothing compared to all of the things you juggle now. These days, you've got mortgage payments, kids, a calendar that never quits, and on top of all that, you're working out, eating in a calorie deficit, and dealing with hormones that seem to have completely forgotten how to act. Every one of these things strains the glass. And the only way to refill it is with quality sleep. But if you're tossing and turning all night, stuck in light sleep and stress mode, that's like pouring water into a glass with holes in the bottom. No matter how much you pour in, your glass never fills up, which is the real struggle of trying to lose weight in your 40s, because a half full glass will never support fat loss. So how are you supposed to lose weight when this crucial habit feels completely out of your control? Because no matter how hard you try to force your eyes shut in the middle of the night, once they inevitably pop open, it still takes hours to fall back asleep. But trying to use the same bedtime routine that you got away with in your 20s won't cut it in your 40s. Hence the reason you're lying awake at 2 a.m., stressing over bills and smacking yourself in the head because you forgot your kid's science project is due tomorrow. Instead of your run-of-the-mill bedtime battle of sleeping as soundly as you can through your husband's snores and midnight farts. Yes, I've been married for 13 years and it absolutely shows. But here's the truth. Even if you think your sleep issues are out of your control, there are habits you can build into your routine that help seal the cracks so your body can actually recover. A few years back when I regained 50 pounds, it wasn't just my weight that spiraled. I was also dealing with daily migraines, chemical sensitivities, exhaustion, all of it. And it wasn't until I overhauled my nighttime routine that things finally started to improve. Instead of cutting off food early to force my way through another 20+ hour fast, I stopped fasting completely. Instead, I ate dinner a few hours before bed. This helped since not feeling like I was starving by the time my head hit the pillow was a game changer for sleep. But I do stop eating about 3 hours before bed so digestion doesn't mess with my sleep quality. And instead of giving into whatever I was craving, I made sure to eat a high-protein meal with whole food carbs. This combo helped my body enter into an anabolic state, which is exactly what you want at night during that rest and digest phase. Another key to improving my sleep was getting on a consistent sleep schedule with the same bedtime every night, even on weekends. This works since your body craves routine, especially one that matches your circadian rhythm, which we'll get back to in a minute. Before bed, I also take magnesium, but not just any magnesium. I take a few capsules of magnesium threonate since this specific form helps your brain wind down so you're not up at 2 a.m. thinking about your kid's stupid science project. I mean, is it really all that life-changing if he misses out on the magical pop bottle tornado? What is life-changing is setting yourself up for better sleep the moment you wake up. One of the biggest game changers for me was getting 5 to 10 minutes of morning light into my eyes first thing. Even though it sounds too simple to matter, it actually works. And if you can pair this habit with some movement, that's even better. In fact, I stack morning sunlight viewing with a 15-minute walk while sipping my protein shake. Look at me, knocking out 3 healthy habits before 8 a.m. Here's the trick though. You have to get outside early before the sun's so bright that it hurts to look at. But if you do wake up later, just look toward the sun, not directly at it. Because if it hurts to look at, that's your cue to stop. Or, at least shift your gaze so you don't go blind. This is an important habit since early sunlight sets your circadian rhythm, which tells your body when to be alert and when it's time to start winding down. And while each of these habits help patch the holes in your recovery glass, even with all of these habits in place, there was still one more shift I had to make that took my sleep and my fat loss to the next level. That's when I realized that not all bedroom setups are created equal. Because while those cute Target sheets may look the part, they weren't doing a thing for my recovery. But once I swapped them out for GroundingTime Sheets, that's when my sleep quality hit a whole new level. At first I thought, okay, grounding sounds cool, but how much of a difference can it really make? But after just a few nights, I was falling asleep faster, waking up less, even with a slumbering grizzly beside me. And for the first time in months, I didn't feel like I needed 3 cups of coffee to make it through the morning. So what makes these sheets different from your current setup? First, the bamboo fiber is buttery soft, like luxurious and super breathable.
Mom, these sheets are super soft. Can I sleep here tonight?
How about I get a set for you since I don't need another sleep barrier? Once I swapped my sheets, I was no longer waking up hot, tangled and sweaty sheets and ready to completely strip my bed at 3 a.m. Then there's this silver weaving tech. This is where it gets sciencey, but still makes sense. Most grounding brands spray on silver coating, which wears off after a few washes. GroundingTime uses silver weave block tech, where the conductive silver threads are woven into the fabric, so even after 100 washes, it still works. If you've ever felt off at night, or you end up feeling wired but tired no matter how much sleep you get, it could be from all of the static and stress that your body's holding on to. But grounding literally connects your body to the Earth's natural electric field, helping your nervous system chill out while lowering cortisol so you actually recover. If you're still sleeping on regular sheets, that's like trying to charge your phone with a cheap cord that keeps disconnecting. Sure, it might eventually charge, but it's frustrating and takes way too long. Now imagine your body is the phone and grounding is the high-speed charger that actually works. That's what it feels like sleeping on GroundingTime Sheets. Some of the benefits of swapping to GroundingTime Sheets include you restore electrical balance, which helps your cells chill out, reduce inflammation by lowering oxidative stress, boost circulation so your blood flow and oxygen delivery actually work for you, relieve stress and tension by discharging static buildup, and you promote deeper sleep by regulating your cortisol rhythm, which, if you're trying to lose fat, is a pretty big deal. And here's the best part. It's passive. You don't have to make any other changes. You just have to sleep on the sheets. I literally just plug the sheet into the grounded outlet, and when I lie down at night, my body does the rest. It's like upgrading my entire recovery system just by going to bed. To prove these aren't just buttery soft placebo sheets, I wrote my son into a science experiment of our own. And quite honestly, this experiment will serve him way better than the tornado in 2 pop bottles demo from his school science fair, especially since we live in Arizona and tornadoes aren't really a thing here. Plus, everyone keeps calling them tornado and soda bottles.
Because that's what they're called, soda bottles.
You are a traitor to your Midwestern roots.
Alright, so Mom, this thing is called a multimeter. What a multimeter does is it measures electricity. So right now it shows that it's at 0.065 around there. But when I grab this red thing and I touch it, now the number turns up to 0.6, 0.5 around there. But then when I touch the sheet, it goes down to 0.0. And after this test, that shows that I'm fully grounded.
So if you're doing everything right, tracking, training, hitting your protein, staying active, but the scale won't budge, your body might be stuck in stress mode. And no amount of willpower or cardio can fix that. In fact, that usually makes things worse. But these sheets helped me flip the switch so my body could finally rest, recover, and let go of the weight. Which you should definitely give these a try since your sleep setup matters. And this upgrade is an absolute game changer. Of course, this is just one simple habit that can take your fat loss plan to the next level. If you want more easy, sustainable changes that actually work, watch this video next. You'll learn 17 tiny habits that seem way too simple to work, but once you start adding them into your routine, that's when you finally become unstoppable with your fat loss plan.